Difference between type and object. Primitive objects. From what I understand of Python 3, the type is the metaclass that is used to create class objects. So type is to object as car is to Jaguar, through a process of calling its call method, which then calls the classes new and init methods, returning the instance of the class itself. At the normal level, the relation between type and object makes perfect sense. Everything is an object, subclass is object, and everything has a type. The type of the object 5 is int, and int's type is type itself. Hence isinstance 5, int, and isinstance int, type, are true. However, isinstance 5, type, is not true since 5 is not a class object, it's an instance of a class. This article, this URL. Hence defines an object as having exactly one type. But at the very primitive level, of the classes type and object themselves, the relationship between them confuses me. Type is a subclass of object, as seen in its basis underscore, but object itself is an instance of type. If describing something like 5 can be split into meat and bones, where meat represents the actual creation of it in memory and assigning values to it, and bones the definition of how it should be, of its legal range of values and behaviors, does this mean that, at the very core, type is responsible for creating the meat of class objects, and object is responsible for defining the bones? If so, what is the meat equivalent of creating an instance of a class, if the bones, in this case, is the class int?
Every class of objects in Python inherits the behaviors of the object class. Firstly, it means that will be true in Python 3 no matter what X happens to be bound to. It also means that everything will also inherit the methods of the object as such, unless overridden by a more specific class. Thus, X == Y will resort to object._eq_ if neither of X or Y overrode the _eq_ method. Type in Python 3 is also an object, it inherits from object. It means that type is an object, and it has inherited the behavior from the object class. That is what enables one to write things like the type._eq_ was inherited from the object class. But the object class itself is also a type. It means that the class object as an object inherits the behavior of type. Type is object's metaclass. And of course type's metaclass is type. And the class object is an object too. When you construct an instance of class, the class itself is responsible for both the meat and bones for that class, but perhaps one could put the distinction in that the bones follows the ordinary class inheritance, and meat is split between the class and the metaclass lineage, and the metaclass is also the bones for the class object itself.
If you want the